welcome to the Blessed Children of God family. We are glad to have you. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you would like to join in on some conversations with thought-provoking topics, feel free to join us on Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We look forward to seeing you there. Continue to be blessed. For your likes, for your shares, for your positive and encouraging comments, for subscribing to this channel, and for your monetary donations to this channel. I just want to simply say thank you. I truly appreciate your support. May God continue to bless and keep you all. Hello. Happy Monday, everybody. Can you all hear me? Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, thanks, Real Charlie's Angel. So, let me see who's in the chat so far. Looks like Who Dat was the first person in the chat. Hey, Who Dat. Then we have Abril. Hey, Abril. Scorpio Mama. Hello, Scorpio Mama. Charlie's Angel. Hey, Charlie's Angel. Too Strong, who said she's going to be in the bushes. Excuse me, y'all. Thanks, Too Strong, for your support. I appreciate you. And we have Real Odds and Evens. I hope everyone is having a great day so far. A great Monday. So, y'all see the title. Do you have a reputation of being hard-headed? If you're too ashamed to admit it, you don't have to. But the question is, do you have a reputation of being hard-headed? Will there be one brave soldier who wants to answer the question? Charlie's Angel said her nickname was Charming. Rel says sometimes, but so much better as I've matured. So that's a yes from Charlie's Angel. April said, I do. Scorpio said, hard head makes a soft behind. Hey, Joe. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining. I hope you're having a great day so far, Joe. Right, Avril. Looks like some people are too stubborn to admit it. But it's cool. It's cool. So nobody else wants to answer. Let's move on. Yeah. Your mama said I'm not admitting nothing. The question, Joe, is do you have a reputation of being hard headed? Okay, Brill? That's right, Abril. Tell the truth and shame the devil. It's okay. The Scorpio mama says she's not admitting nothing. Nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and speak for myself. I'll say, well, let's see what Joe says. Said, I don't think I have ever been told that, but I think I have been in my younger years. Okay. Hey, Wanda. Thank you for joining. Happy Monday. How are you today? Okay, Wanda. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. Not sure how long we'll be here, but you can check. So let me pin the question. See if I can pin this real quick. Okay. So the question is pinned if anybody needs a reminder. So, as I was saying, there are definitely times when I can be hard headed. Now, while being hard headed can be bad, it's not always a bad thing. Hard headed people aren't easily swayed. This can be good when you're on the side of what's right, but not so good when you're not. I believe that most hard headed adults were also hard headed children. So, what is real saying? More than half of people have been hard headed at some point in life, but that is surely not to say that it's a bad thing. Being hard headed can save your life or from making a bad decision. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, today's scripture verse comes from Psalm chapter 32, verse 9. And it's the New Living Translation. Do not be like a senseless horse or mule that needs a bit and bridle to keep it under control. We should all be teachable and not like a horse or mule that needs bits and bridles to control them. Just in case you're not familiar with horses or mules and you want to know what bits and bridles are, bits are the things that go over the horse or mule's mouth, and bridles are the things that hold the bits in place. So, hey, I said what I said. Thanks for joining. Happy Monday. How are you today? You can still answer the question if you like. It's pinned in the comments. So, I actually thought about not doing this live today, y'all. Been dealing with some sinus issues, and I could have used that as an excuse not to go live. But I thought about how I'm always okay. I said what I said. That's a shock. She said sometimes she is hard headed. Hmm. But at least you're honest. Um. So then I thought about how I'm always encouraging people to keep going, especially on my accentuating the positive channel. And so since I'm always encouraging others to keep going, I thought to myself, I need to do what I'm encouraging others to do. But the irony is that Bill said a lot of people haven't been going live or not feeling well last 2 weeks, I've noticed. Yeah, since I have a schedule, yeah, it's that's what it is, real. Since I have a schedule, I try to do my best to stick to the schedule. But what's ironic is that I actually went to my channel and I was getting ready to cancel the live. But the first thing I saw when I went to get ready to cancel the live was my thumbnail from last Monday's live, which reminded me that I need to practice what I preach. That's right. You weren't feeling well. I said what I said. Are you feeling well, better? So you're still trying to recover? All right. Yeah, get better. I'm going to take some medicine when I get off of this live. But like I was saying, um, last Monday, my title was um, Do You Practice What You Preach? And so, since I'm always encouraging others to go on, now I did cancel one time on a Monday. I don't think I had a voice that day. So, um, I had no choice but to cancel. But Sometimes God will give you a message, and at the time, you may think that someone needs to hear that message. Meanwhile, that someone could be you. Said black seed oil. Yeah, I used to take that years ago. Said it appears the codes are way more potent since C19 came around. I think mine is just sinus. That's what I think. So I'm going to take some sinus medicine. I'm sure. I've meant to star your comment, Scorpio Mama, but I forgot to start. But I'm sure many of you have heard the saying, "A hard head makes a soft behind." I've heard it many times, especially when I was a kid. While as a kid, I took it literally. As a matter of fact, um, I have a memory of, I think I was in the fifth grade when one of the guys in my class was being hard headed, not listening to the teacher, and his mother came up to the school and actually whipped his behind in front of the class. And I don't remember him not listening to the teacher after that. So that was literally a hard head making a soft behind. But as an adult, I realized that a soft behind didn't necessarily mean a tap on your behind. Yeah, don't talk about conspiracies, Scorpio Mama. In my opinion, it means that you may have to learn the hard way when you are too hard headed. Now, if you know that something is going against your morals and beliefs, I believe that it's okay to be hard headed and to stand on what you believe. However, if someone is trying to offer you some sound advice, you should at least listen to what they have to say. Okay, Scorpio Mama. Yeah, at least listen to what the person has to say. Even if you don't agree with it, excuse me, y'all. Even if you don't agree, um, there's nothing wrong with, listening to what they have to say. It might, you know, it could make you change your mind or whatever. Um, some sometimes we've heard people say the life you save may be your own. That can happen when you listen to sound advice. So my advice is have when you have real good discernment, you can usually discern what is right and what's not right. So follow that. While we should be careful of who we listen to, just remember that people who really care about you want the best for you. I was on, I believe it was I do believe we need to pray more, Scorpio. I agree with that. Um, I was on Vibe and Glow with Joe, a recent live. I think it was the live that she had last week. And she brought SBK on. And I don't even remember what she was talking about, but I remember her saying that she had been telling him something, and I guess she felt like he wasn't really listening to her, but then somebody else told him the same thing, and he listened to that person. So I made a comment about him being hard headed, but sometimes don't get too frustrated. And you can get frustrated at times when you know you're telling somebody the right thing that they need to do or to listen to, and they don't pay you any mind. Okay, Joe said yes. Because sometimes you may say it to them, who knows how many times, but somebody else could come along and say the same thing. And, listen, um, a lot of times people, when they should listen to the people who are closest to them. Or let me rephrase that and say, we should listen to people who are closest to us, but sometimes it takes someone else that's not as close to us to say the same thing, and then we get it. So as long as you know you planted that seed, don't worry about um, when they get it. As long as they get it, that's what really matters. I know that that can be easier said than done, because sometimes it can be frustrating when you know that what you're telling the person is right, but they're like, they they hear you, but they're not really listening to you. So you might see the same patterns or behavior, and then God will bring somebody else along and tell them the same thing, but somehow they hear that person. Because sometimes our job is just to plant the seed, or sometimes people's, because I've been in the position, I have been hard headed. So I want to come from that point of view as well. I know that there have been times when somebody has told me something and I didn't necessarily listen to what they had to say. And this was mainly in my younger years. Like Real said, as I've matured, I've gotten better, because I really do listen to what people have to say, even if I don't necessarily agree with it. And I believe that God will somehow get me to see what I really need to see. So don't give up on people who tend to be hard headed just because you think they don't hear what you have to say, because it just may be your job just to plant that seed. And it could be somebody else's job to come and water it. But God is always going to get the the increase. So that's what I had to say about dealing with hard headed people at times. Um, just and being hard headed. Some of some of us, some people do have the reputation of being hard headed and not listening, and that's true on social media and in real life. So it's best for us that we not only Serious S, how are you today? Yeah, I remember you, Serious S. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining the chat. Do you want to answer the question? Do you have a reputation of being hard headed? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. I noticed that you're a Virgo from Georgia, so you must either have recently had a birthday or you have a birthday coming up. So which one is it? Do you have a birthday coming up or have you recently had a birthday? We want to go ahead and okay, September 10th. My son's birthday was September 9th. Happy belated birthday. I hope you enjoyed your special day. We want to go ahead and celebrate the Virgos because Libra season is coming up and we are going to show out for Libra season. So I hope you had a great birthday, Sirius S. And I pray that God blesses you to see many more. By the way, happy birthday to everyone who's celebrating a birthday this month. I'm still waiting to see if you wanted to answer the question. You can put a no. You don't want to answer the question. You're very welcome. That's right, Abril. We are about to show out for Libra season. Hey, beautiful sinner. How are you today? Thank you for joining. Sinner, can you be hard headed at times? We love you too, Scorpio Mama. Okay, Serious S. Is your answer yes? Yes, we do, Scorpio Mama. Senna said yes. Oh my goodness. Look who stepped into the chat, y'all. Hey, Blaze. Happy Monday. How are you? It's good to see you. Well, my daughter is an Aries, okay, Blaze? So I love Aries too, okay? I appreciate you stopping by. Get ready for our next giveaway, which will be coming soon. Avril said it. Avril said it so well. We love you, King. It's just not your season. Okay? That doesn't mean we love you any less. Right now, it's Virgo season. And soon and very soon, it's going to be Libra season. And as April said, we will be showing out. And then it's going to be Scorpio season. And because my husband and my son are Scorpios, and of course, Scorpio mama is a Scorpio, we're going to show out then too, but not as much as we are for Libra season. Okay. So Sirius S says, I'm hard headed about Oh my goodness. She said, I'm hard headed about procrastination. I keep putting off on things I know I need to complete, but I will delay it. I um, have to be honest and say that I still deal with procrastination as well. So I definitely understand. I do my best to get better, but I'm still working on it. So Senna says her older brother is a Libra. That's good, Senna. That means he's a good guy. Senna says, Libra, of course he is. Every great person has a Libra nearby. Okay? Okay, April? Oh, no problem. Hey, Nesto. Happy Monday. How are you today? Thanks for joining the live. If you care to answer the question, feel free to answer the question. It's pinned in the chat. So you say you've been listening? Okay. Well, thank you for dropping in the chat to say something. I want to make sure I don't miss any comments today, y'all. Did she did go Scorpio? Scorpio says her neighbor is a Libra. They say Libras are liars. I told her that and she got offended, but she borrowed a lot of money for some reason. Well, I believe that you can find liars in any um, sign. So don't let that um, be a representation of Libras because we are honest people. Okay, Scorpio? Oh, Nestos says she is very hard headed. At least you are very honest. Lay said reputation for being hard headed. Depends on who you ask, really. I'm all for following protocol, but some rules were just designed for me to break. Okay. All right, Blaze. Scorpio, Abril says, Scorpio mama asked her for ID. We don't do no begging and we only tell white lies. We are brutally honest. Your night. I need your, I guess she said, I need your neighbor to show her ID. That's right, Abril. We need to verify her date of birth. Okay, Scorpio. Sinesso said, I take responsibility for my decisions. I don't think it has nothing to do with the time of year I was born. I agree with that. Okay, want to make sure I didn't miss any comments. So if you have somebody that's hard headed in your life, try to be patient with them. And if you know that you are hard headed, that's something that you need to work on. And just like Serious S, I believe it was Serious S. Um, just like somebody said, if you have if you are a procrastinator, I think it was Serious S. If you are a procrastinator, work on that too. No problem, Abril. Senna says, Brill, Libras are also very supportive. Y'all will be stern in telling someone to reach their highest potential. I love it. Thank you, Senna. That's the question, y'all. So, they said, but when it comes to your walk with God, being hard headed comes with a price, and sometimes it's high. This is so true. You don't want to be like Jonah. You don't want to be swallowed like Jonah had to be in order to get it. Scorpio Mama Senna, they say they are peacemakers. She keeps her husband from fighting. So, like I was saying, I was telling Blaze, we will be having another giveaway soon. So, y'all pay attention to the lives, pay attention to the content, to everything on this channel. I have several playlists that you can watch and listen to that may help you win. And we're going to do something different this month. So stay tuned. I'm not going to tell you what it's going to be, but some people might like it. The serious S says, I'm diligently trying to change that behavior, procrastination. I'm moving forward with introspective learning to make sure that I'm not being too hard on myself. Yeah, I understand that sometimes we can be too hard on ourselves. Oh, okay, Scorpio. That changes. That's the neighbor. Okay, I got you, Scorpio. That's the neighbor. You want all the smoke, Blaze? Okay. Well, pay attention. I could ask questions from any month or any post, any short. The questions could come from anywhere. Okay, Scorpio Mama. I'm sure you love him. You just don't like him. I'm sure that's what you mean, right? So yeah, like Sirius S is saying, let's try not to be too hard on ourselves. Remember, we are still human and we are going to make mistakes. So keep that in mind. Just is when we know better, we should do better. But sometimes it takes some of us longer than it takes others. So um Blaze said he's working on a strategy to win all the pot. Okay, Blaze. I don't know what your strategy is, but we will see what happens. And it's going to be well, it's not going to be this Thursday, but I think next Thursday it's going to be. I'm going to do a I'm going to do a little video. not not I can't be bribed. Um Blaze, you can try to bribe me, but I can't be bribed. And you giving it away, Blaze. Hey Blue. Thank you, Blue. Happy Monday. How are you? That's what he said, Abril. He said bribery. I don't know why he said that. Thank you. Yes, please stay on subject respectfully. Blaze says He said the come up has to happen some kind of way. Weren't you one of the winners last time, Blaze? You just want to win more. Blaze is a mess. Sentences automatic disqualification, bribery. I'm gonna I'm going to reserve my comment, but that's what Senna said, Blaze. She said that's an automatic disqualification. And she is one of my moderators who has, some kind of say in that. So, huh. But like I said, I'm going to reserve my comment. Hey, Selena. Happy Monday. How are you? Welcome and thanks for joining. It's okay, Scorpio. Oh, he said he didn't see that in the rule book, Senna. That's good, Selena. It's good to see you in the chat. I hope you had a great weekend. Senna, I think we should okay, Selena. Drive carefully. You um you said I just gave him the green. I didn't give him the green light. Said I'm trying to be careful of my words, because words have power and I don't want to say the wrong words. Hey, Mimi. Happy Monday. How are you? How was your weekend, Mimi? Yes, be safe out there, Selena. One of the guys that's my happens to be my peer has given you the reputation of not being able to drive. So so be careful, Selena. Senna says no bribery. You hear that, Blaze? You read that? You see that? That's good, Mimi. I can't complain. Even though I had a headache yesterday, I still had a good weekend. Hey, Key. How are you? Happy Monday. How was your weekend, Key? So Blaze says, I think everyone at some point was hard headed. Sometimes the most valuable lessons are learned and fully realized when we take that fall, even when we were previously warned. Yeah, sometimes people can warn us, but we have to learn on our own. That's good, Key. Hello, Chill Will crew. How are you today? Happy Monday. How was your weekend, Chill Will? If y'all want to ask those who just came in, if you want to answer the question, feel free to do so. The question is pinned. Okay, so Blaze changed his mind. You got him to change his mind, Senna. He said he's not going to try to bribe me. That's good, Key. Glad you had a great weekend. Hello, Janice. Welcome back, sis. How are you today? It's good to see you in the chat. How's your husband? I want to make sure I'm not missing any comments, y'all. So you said you were called hard-headed a lot when you were a child, Mimi. What about now? Do people still say that you're hard-headed? So Chill Will Crew says, I have been hard-headed a few times. My storms may be humble right now. Today, my weekend was nice. Thank you. That's good. Glad you had a wonderful weekend. Okay, great, Janice. Glad to see you in the chat and glad that you are feeling better. Yes, it is good. So Blaze says, like for me, I know I've disappointed God and myself many times and I paid for it. But that also presented me with a challenge to change for the better and continue to be the best, to be the person I was yesterday. Not continue. Okay. I was, okay. Got you. Okay. Mimi says she thinks she's grown up since then. Yes, I do. Unfortunately, I know how it is, Janice. Sirius S says, I'm going to head out, about to settle in from work. Thank you for the warm welcoming and great hospitality. Enjoy your life and have a blessed, positive, peaceful, and a safe day. Well, thank you, Sirius S. You can always feel free to stop by anytime. We're live on Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern and on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. Stay safe and stay blessed. So Janice says, I was a hard-headed child, but now I've learned to be more open to some circumstances. Yes, feel free to share out the live. Thank you. Thanks, Senna. Yeah, so if you know that you are stubborn and hard headed, that's something that you should consider working on. Hey, Shadow, who offers good fruit snacks? Shadow, are you volunteering me? I don't have any fruit snacks. You want to send me some, Shadow? Yes, don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks, Charlie's Angel. You said, oh man. Yeah, sorry about that, Shadow. So if no one else has any comments, oh, wait a minute. Um, Janice says fruit snacks are on sale at Sam's. Shadow, you see that? Oh, thank you, Scorpio Mama. See, you know I love you, girl. She said, I don't need any sugar because I'm sweet enough. Oh, thanks, Janice. Thank you, Senna. Y'all some nice. I appreciate y'all. Does anybody want to come up to say anything before I end this live? Thanks, Abril. Abril said, thank you, everyone, for downloading the playlist. Dropped in the chat your support of my watch hours. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. I love y'all. Joe says, thank you for always prickly. Okay. So I was trying to figure out what you were saying. Thank you, Joe. I'm laughing at Scorpio. She says she loves sugar like she loves men folk. Oh, no problem, Joe. Thank you. Thank you for um letting me know what you were really trying to say. There's my peer. I knew I had to delay this live because my peer is here, y'all. My peer, who is also a Libra. Hey, SBK. It's good to see you. SBK, you want to answer the question? Oh, Lord. You want to answer the question, SBK? Do you have a reputation of being hard headed? And the reason why I want you to answer that question is because your name came up. Hey, Vaughn. Vaughn, I put the link in the chat. Your name came up, SBK, so I want to know if you have a reputation. Oh, running errands. Okay. I want to know if you want to be honest. Oh, see, you see this, Scorpio? You see that? SBK, who happens to be a Libra, is honest enough to say he is hard headed at times. So we need you to check your neighbor's ID. Okay? We need you to do that for us. Um, Senna says she doesn't see Vaughn. I dropped a link for her, so I don't know if she's gonna come up or not. Yes, I did. SBK. I wanted to see if you were going to be honest enough to say that you can be hard headed. Hello. Okay, SBK.
Okay. Hey, Alice.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. I just wanted to come up here and test my voice out and see if I could actually come back online, but sound like it's
No.
still kind of it's been so long since I've been online. So I just thought I'd come up here and test it out and see how it sounds. It don't sound like it sounds too great to me from
No.
what I'm hearing in my headset. Yeah. So
Yeah, no. No, you don't sound good.
yeah. So
I'm trying to
yeah.
be honest here.
Well,
Keep it
that's
honest.
fine. That's what I came up here for to find out if I'm ready to come back. But I guess I'm not. So I guess I won't be
Mm-mm.
hard headed and I won't wear it out. But I really just want to come up here and speak to you and just say hi to the audience since it's been a minute. Seemed like it look like it's gonna be a few more minutes
Uh-huh.
before I can
Yeah,
get over
take
this
care of
trip.
yourself.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying. Trust me, I am. But it's so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it feel like since C-19 came along, it's these colds seem like they're worse and worse. I don't know. And it seemed like everybody getting sick at this point in time. And maybe it's
Yeah.
because the season changing. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe so. Maybe it's the season. Um, but I think I usually have sinus problems during this time of the year. So,
Yeah. Well, you know what? I've been getting by, so I'm not gonna complain too much because I really been kind of healthy. So I know it's gonna catch up with me one way or the other. But as far as being hard headed, though, yeah, sometimes I am hard headed, and sometimes I'm not. But even if I'm hard headed initially, I'll think about it and then I'll go back and do whatever it is that was recommended. So I don't know if you call that hard headedness or just reluctance.
hmm, what do you think?
I don't know. I call it both of them, hard headed and reluctant.
More, more hard headed or more reluctant?
I feel like more hard headed because initially, sometimes when people make a recommendation to you, a lot of times you have your mind made up of how you want to handle whatever situation. So
Mm-hmm.
um so the first answer is no, you know
Mm-hmm.
or they may oblige you and just say, yeah, I hear you, but they still go back and do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Um, I've
and
been
and,
there.
and then when something happened, then that changes their mind
Yeah.
after the soft butt part come in. Then that's when we kind of
That's
change our yeah, that's when we kind of change our minds sometimes
mm-hmm.
after we see um the consequences of being hard-headed, and then we'll
Yeah.
change our mind and reluctantly do what we're supposed to do, or what was recommended.
Right. Our peer has joined.
Yeah, I saw him. And since hey SPK, and since I don't really have a voice, I'll let him have the floor.
It's well, hello, peers. Hello, you beautiful ladies. How y'all doing?
Hey
Good.
SPK.
How are you?
Good, good, good. I said what I said. You got the cooties. You,
Not the
you got the cooties.
cooties.
Now I got the heebie-jeebies.
Oh man. Oh my goodness. You keep those heebie-jeebies where you at, then. Not trying to get your cooties and heebie-jeebies.
Whatever. Oh, so now you don't want to be hard-headed, huh?
Oh man, I'm being hard headed when it comes to them heebie-jeebies, them cooties.
Yeah, I understand that.
Well, no, seriously though, we miss seeing you up on the panels and stuff. I hope you get better soon.
Yeah, I hope so too, and I'm trying. I'm really trying, really, really hard.
Well, just
But
stay
I
hot.
have a low immune system, so most of the
Oh,
time, yeah, when I get sick, it's gonna take a minute for me to recover. But
I got
I'm
you.
trying, and that's why I came up here to see how my voice gonna sound, and I see it ain't really sounding like it's supposed to. So I'm,
Well, it's okay. I mean, you sound all right. You can tell you've been sick, but it sounds like you're getting there.
yeah, it sounded a whole lot better than it did, in the beginning. I couldn't even get anything out a
Right,
couple
right,
weeks ago, so I'm
right,
getting better slowly but surely.
right. I got you. I got you. Well, Miss Alice, I heard that I was a topic or whatever. Well, not a topic. I guess my name came up about being hard headed.
Yeah.
Um,
First of all, you call me Miss Alice.
oh, um, I'm slapping my hand. I'm slapping my hand. Virtually
You're
slap.
hard headed. You're hard headed.
See, that's the hard headed. That's the hard headed thing right there going on. But y'all, but yeah, my name was brought up about being hard headed. Y'all go ahead. Y'all can ask me any type of questions about being hard headed. But I will admit I have a I'm one of them dudes that if you're right, then I'm not going to say that you're right at that moment in time.
Mm.
but I will take heed and you know what I mean. I'll take heed and I can be hard headed at times, but you know it's
Mm-hmm.
that pride thing sometimes. But you know I'll always come back and say, hey, you were right about that. I was wrong about that. You know what I mean? But you know it's the pride thing that keeps you from admitting, you know, sometimes. But I do come off as being hard headed at times,
Mm-hmm.
not all the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
At
you
times,
want to stress that.
yeah, I'm trying to stress that at times, at
I get
times.
it. It probably depends on the subject, though, right? Like if you being hard headed as far as a task go, or being hard headed as far as people go, I think you probably weigh that out different.
There you go.
I was just thinking that maybe you just one of those type people that just give people the benefit of the doubt
There you go.
until they just punch you in the face, and then you have to
That's exactly
then you
what I'm.
make a decision.
That's exactly because I. It's a. You just said a mouthful right there, and that's very much true. I say what I said. Um, it could be a two-edged sword or a blessing or a curse to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I truly believe that that people around you, especially women folk, y'all have intuition about folks and about other females, about other guys, um, and y'all can see things later on down the road that maybe that us men can't see, right? And so I've been guilty of inviting folks into my circle, uh, giving people too much of the benefit of the doubt, and I end up getting bit in the end, right? And so,
Mm-hmm.
so the hard headed thing comes in when people say, "Hey, SBK, you need to watch out for that said individual because that said individual might be uh, has other alternative motives and stuff like that." I mean,
Mm-hmm.
no, that's not. Just give that guy or give that girl a chance, and I end up being bit. You see what I'm saying? So, um, you know, all my life, you know, whether it's been in high school, social media, I've had to, you know, I could write a book. People just saying underhanded stuff about you, or uh, the jealousy, envy thing. You know what I mean? Comes into play, and I've had to learn to handle that. You know what I mean? So I'm still working on it. I'm still a work in progress, and as far as like you know trusting people and stuff like that. But I'm learning. You know, when you have a circle of good people around you, they're you got to listen to them. So
Right.
Right. But at
Yeah,
the end of the day, too, though, like you said, it's a double-edged sword because sometimes people do make mistakes. And isn't it the godly way anyway is to give people the benefit of doubt?
I think so.
I
And
think so as well too.
yeah, so I don't see anything wrong with you giving people the benefit of the doubt because, like I said, sometimes we could perceive things the wrong way, or you know, you don't never know what people agenda is, and so sometimes you have to weigh it out and see, is this person really trying to sabotage me, or is this person or do this person really truly like me? And so I don't see anything wrong with giving people the benefit of the doubt, because at one time or another, people had to give us the benefit of a doubt when we've made a mistake or what have you. And all of y'all will be happy to know I actually went to church yesterday, and I know that's Alice clapping. I know it's Alice. Yeah, yeah. And it was our 104th year of church anniversary. So my auntie
Wow.
asked everybody to go to church, and so my cousin drugged me up there, and I went, and I was actually happy to go. But before I went though, and this is Reels and Vaughn's favorite subject, but the devil actually tried to keep me from going. I mean, I was just having a coughing attack, and uh just started feeling weak and just all kind of things was happening to me. And I told my cousin, I said, you know what? I'm not gonna let the devil win today. I'm gonna go on and go to church. And she just fell out laughing. She said, the devil trying to get you. I said, yeah, the devil trying to get me to stay at the house, and I'm gonna go on and go to church. And so when I went up there, I went to church, and I guess it's been so long the pastor didn't even recognize. He didn't remember who I was. He thought I was one of my cousins. And he was like, I was just thinking about you the other day. And I'm like, how? Like, how was you thinking about me? You really don't even know me like that. Because he really don't. Because I moved out of town. It's the church that we grew up in. But by the time
Mhm.
he came, I was only probably there about 4 or 5 years. And then I moved out of town. So he really don't know me like that. He
Uh-huh.
only know me because we do our family funerals there. And but he was thinking that I was one of my other cousins. He asked me about my sister, and I told him I was, my sister was fine, but he wasn't really talking about us. He was talking about my cousin them. And so my auntie had to explain to him who I was or what have you. And he was like, "Well, anyway, you gave a great speech." Because I got up and said something in church. And I just let everybody know, really I wanted to thank him for being so gracious to our family, for allowing our family members, whether they go to church or not, he still allows us to have funerals at his church. And
Mhm.
he won't let us pay him anything when he does that. And so I just really wanted to get up and thank him. And of course, I had to get all off the subject and start talking about how people how people stray away, because the question was, what do church mean to you? So I was just explaining to everybody, church really is your beginning and your ending in life. We all Most of us are raised in a church. We all started going to church when we were a kid, and then sometimes some of us stray away from church. You know,
Mhm.
it's not that we forget about the Lord or whatever. We just kind of gear off and just start doing our own thing, or different things happen in life that make us stop going to church. I say, but at the end of the day, we all wind up back in the church, whether we come on our own or whether we come when it's our last day.
Mhm.
After the midnight hour come in. But regardless how you look at it, you gonna be at the church one way or the other, in the beginning and the end. And
Mhm.
so he was like, that was a great speech and everything. But like I said, he really still didn't recognize who I was. But I actually felt better. I actually felt good about going to church yesterday, and
That's
actually
good.
had a good time about going. Yeah, I had a nice time. So I also wanted everybody to, especially Alice and Vaughn, I wanted them to let them know I actually went back to the church house yesterday. And I may consider going back, again.
That's great.
Okay.
That's
Great.
great.
Yeah.
It's I wanted to piggyback off of what you were saying about the church. It's funny that I said what I said was talking about the church and so forth and so on, because I had a conversation with Joe and it's just TV yesterday, and we were discussing about the reason why folks are shy away from the church because they've done wrong and so forth and so on. But the thing about it is that and this leads into the conversation about you know having a reputation of being hard-headed. you know um Whenever you encounter someone who does you wrong, or uh and you see things that are not right, it kind of shies you away from, and we're discussing church, shies you away from church. But not every, you have to I have to I have had to have a come to Jesus moment, if you will, and say, hey, look, even though you gotta, you have people that are hypocrites everywhere. You have people that do wrong everywhere. So
Mhm.
in the church
Amen.
house, in business, in family, right?
Mhm.
And so because of that, you can't let that influence you. And I'm talking to myself. I'm not talking to, I've had to have this discussion with myself. You can't X off everybody because of what has happened. Because I can tell you some horrific stories that's happened to me because of trusting people in church, trusting people in business. Um, and Miss Alice, you highlighted that one statement that Joe, she says, and she said yes, and that's really not SBK's problem. He actually goes beyond the benefit of the doubt. That's very much true. With me, I have taken the shirt off my back, literally, to help people, and they've stabbed me in the back. But those people that have done that, uh, I've been warned. Hey, you keep on, being generous to these people. That's what's going to happen to you. And so I let stuff go on and on and on, and and not and not handle it. So, but going back to the thing about being hard headed, uh, a hard head makes a soft behind. And so you live and you learn, and that's about it. But yeah, I will admit that that's one of my Achilles heel by the way, of just letting people take advantage of me, and people have told me, look, you can't be being generous like that. They're gonna that person. I can see that person is going to do that to you.
Hmm.
So there you have it.
Yeah, I've been there. I definitely have been there, and I probably still do give people more chances than they deserve. But how I see it is that God has given me more chances than I deserve as well.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. There, little
So,
sis, little sis.
hey,
What's up?
Vaughn.
Hey, Vaughn.
Hey y'all. So Miss Alice, this live about me or SBK?
I think
I,
it's a
I,
little bit of both of us.
that's what I'm gonna say. I think it's about both of
I
y'all.
think it's both of us.
well,
I
well,
gotta
I
mess with Miss
did
Alice,
mention
y'all.
SBK's name. I did mention his name because that subject came up on Joe's live where he was on. He was the producer. So
Hmm.
yeah, I didn't mention your name, but all I have to say is, if you can't say amen, just say ouch.
Nah, I could say both today. It's funny because uh being hard. Okay, so I'm gonna speak in first person today. Okay, I ain't gonna try third person because
Okay.
there isn't a third me in the room. But yeah, being hard headed, that's it surely does cost you. Um, Stubborn, proud, and it costs you. You see, it's like some people are more stubborn than others. Like I think I'm a little, more bendable, you know, but it has to cost me something first, is what I've learned. Like if I feel I ain't gonna lose nothing, it's kind of like, whatever. And see the trick, that 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 I've fallen for with that is believing that it hasn't cost me anything. And then, I guess SBK called it a come to Jesus moment, but here I am learning it's a lifestyle, because you just find yourself always calling on Jesus. But the question is, are you willing to answer? It's like, he God, because Jesus saves, he actually, saves us, you know, you know, when we get caught up because it's like a grace is given for you to wake up, and another day or even moments in time where an opportunity is even presented for you to, move a little bit, and not be stuck in your ways. And
Go
sometimes you
ahead.
don't want to move, because you feel like it's going to cost you something again. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling somebody yesterday, I said it's not kindness, isn't hard at all. in my opinion. It's kind of like the rejection of it all. So like, you know how when they say, um when you walk into a room, you speak to people, and it's like, you can speak to a person, they not say nothing to you back, and then for me personally, I be feeling some type of way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had this epiphany of, you know, uh I started, I be going in my little deep, crevices of the back of my mind, and I be remembering scriptures, and so I was like, okay, that's what Romans, 8, you know, 20 is about. Or, no,
Mm-hmm.
it's, what is it, 17? There we go. Um, it's like when you do your part in a situation, you don't have to later, carry the burden of shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? And but for me, because I am, a little stubborn, it's like, but I don't want to move and then be feeling some type of way because, you know, but it's like, y'all understand what I'm saying? It's like when you're hard head, you can know pretty much what I'm saying is I have all the answers. I just don't want to, I just don't. And why is because it's like I said, being proud. It's like, I don't want to feel like I'm losing. I'm still losing. I feel I have more power when I just do what I want to do versus taking the risk of doing something different and not receiving. But once again, you can know right from wrong and still just want to do what you want to do. And do I know that it will cost you? Yes. Do I know it's cost me things? Yes. But you know, I don't know what it's gonna take to get me to change. That's all I want to say. I don't really know what it's gonna take for me to be like, you know what? I'm tired of this because I recognize that I still am, stubborn in some ways. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like I know that I'm hard headed. I know you could tell me, Kevon or Vaughn or whatever, y'all want to call me, not to do something, but I'm still gonna do it because, you know, it's almost like a per, yeah, a protective measure of, I know this is gonna, hurt. I know this is gonna, whoop me up, but I'm familiar with this. I'm comfortable with this, and I just rather do this. So what I can say about being hard headed is, it can be very comfortable, um, because at least you know what to expect. It's to me, it's a gamble going outside of my comfortability of doing something different. So yeah, there we go. Hmm.
I know
You seem
exactly.
to have
I'm
a
sorry.
high tolerant level for pain.
Mm-hmm. Just don't get caught sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hush.
But I know exactly what you mean, Vaughn. You know that pride
Okay,
is
Wanda.
that pride is a it's something else, you know. And so you have pride, and when you know something is bad for you, or you know an individual is bad for you, and you know in your heart that it's not right, but you just want to, you know, sometimes you want to prove people otherwise, but you end up getting burnt.
Yeah.
Uh, I I totally get it. You know what I mean? And so, but I can honestly say that whenever I have gotten burnt, and whenever I have gotten uh, to the point to where it's a proven fact that I made a wrong decision, I do I do take pride in humbling myself and saying, look, that's my fault. That's on me. You know what I mean? That's on me. I can't blame anybody but myself. So I've never like pointed the finger and like said, hey, you didn't tell me, because people have told me that was
Right.
wrong, you know what I'm saying? But I can't pride myself in saying that, you know, it's, that's my fault. I can only take that underneath the chin and just keep moving, learn from it. But, as the older you get, you realize that, you gotta take the good with the bad. Life is about choices. Life is about sometimes life is a gamble, but at the same time, you have to learn from your mistakes. And I have, but us men sometimes we're hard headed, ladies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Oh my goodness.
Men and young people. And so
Uh-huh.
the one thing
Tell
I
the
want to
truth, shame the devil.
yeah, and one thing I want to commend you guys for taking accountability because like you said, you're doing wrong, but you're still taking accountability for it. So that's a good thing. But the only way that you're gonna stop is when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, then that's when you'll stop. Okay. So I just want to throw that out there.
So true.
And one more thing, um, how do y'all take that feeling of because personally, when I do something wrong, it gnaws at me and life just don't go right. And here's a prime example. Like if I talk some crap to my mom, and I know I shouldn't have talked no crap to her, and I didn't dare do it when I was younger, when I was living in her house. But once I got older, I kind of, feel, and I wasn't living in the house, and I was far, far away from her, so she wouldn't, knock me out or anything. Sometimes I would pop off a little bit, but it would make me feel bad, and I have to go back and apologize to her. And so, like, how do you take that feeling like of continuing to do stuff that's not right, but don't it seems like to me karma kind of happens to you when you do that, when you knowingly doing something wrong, seem like life don't go right for you, especially when you being disobedient to your parents, all kind of stuff will start happening to you, and then it's like you just don't feel right. I can't say you guys, but me, I don't feel right. If I know I did something wrong and I don't try to right it, I don't feel like my normal self. I feel like I'm, in an alien's body or what have you until I start doing the right thing. So, how do y'all take that feeling?
I feel the same way, Queen, because uh, you were hitting home. I popped off to my mom. God bless her. She's looking down on us right now, but I popped off to my mom uh, before, and I got what they say the scripture of Alice that the Holy Spirit pricks you and it convicts you, and you got a conscience about yourself.
Amen.
So uh, if you don't have a conscience, then there's something wrong. You know what I mean? So I can honestly say, I said, well, that's a great question. I can honestly say for me that whenever I'm doing something wrong after being hard headed and I still continue to do it, man, there's something in the back, that's it's like, man, you're going in the wrong direction, bro. You know what I mean? And so, having that conscience, having that, having a guilty conscience is something that's, in a lot of cases in my life, it's helped me not ruin my life. You know what I mean? I've came close. You know what I mean? But I didn't listen. But like I said, I'm gonna say this again. If you don't have a conscience, like what you were talking about, I said what I said. If you don't have, in my personal opinion, it's something wrong. It's something dead wrong. If you're that cold to where you can't listen to anybody, or you just go through with something knowing that it's wrong, and you don't have a care in the world, there's something wrong with you. So that's how I feel. That's how I look at it.
Well, it depends. Okay, see, yeah, it depends because if it's okay, I didn't want to do this, but nowadays it seems like I can't get away with nothing. Okay, but in the past I lashed out a lot, so that's kind of how I dealt with. things that weighed heavy on my conscience. I just lashed out. Um, I would apologize. Um, yeah, I would lash out or lash out and apologize. Apologize. Yeah, it depends. Cause yeah, it just depends.
Once again, I've been there, Vons. Don't think that what you're saying is foreign. It does. In my opinion, in my lifetime, it does depend on the situation. But if I know I'm doing wrong, I mean dead wrong. I mean, and people just and I'm arguing with people, somebody, mind your
Hmm.
business. That type of thing. Mind your business. Worry about yourself.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. It's like you
If
know
somebody
what?
keeps,
But
yeah,
see,
go ahead.
I'll be honest and say it's easier for me to lash out, and I'm gonna explain why. Because my thing is, I feel like when I do hold myself accountable or I own up to something, the other party will instead of like, okay, you're owning up, so I own up. It's like they'll get more grounded in you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. So then it's like, okay, forget this accountability. Let's talk about not even let's talk about what you did. How about now I ain't sorry. Okay, now I really don't care. Because you can't even see why and how we got here, even if I kicked it off first or you kicked it off. Like it's like a now I don't even care that I did something wrong. You know. So I guess you could say a piece of me just ain't got it, I ain't got it all together, y'all. But I will know I'm wrong. But if you make me feel worse about it, or like it's like a group thing, I'm the problem. I'm gonna make a way for me not to be the problem no more. In my mind, out loud, it's gonna be like this girl is crazy. But I definitely can say it's not that I don't know I'm wrong or even feel it. It's just a more I really don't like being the person that's in the wrong, y'all. I can't stand it. It's annoying. It's like, you know, so like I said, it really does depend. It depends on the situation. If I know you haven't done anything to me and I'm rethinking the situation, or somebody says, hey, such and such didn't deserve that, or you could have handled that differently, then I'll definitely be like, I, full accountability. You can be mad at me, whatever you say and do is like, okay, I deserve it. But if it's like a mutual thing where we both in some type of wrong, more than likely, the my part in ownership is gonna go completely out the window, you know, based on how you treat me during that conversation, disagreement, or whatever. Because it's one thing to hold me accountable, but it's another thing to chastise me. Who are you?
So it sound like
Yeah.
y'all just sound like y'all just blame somebody else, and that's how y'all get through it.
I mean, no, sis, don't. Okay, yes, depending on the situation, because
Yeah. Well, that's what both of y'all just said. When SK said, "Mind your business. What about you?" and you saying, "Well, it just depends," you know. So it sounds like because I asked you guys, how do you get through it? You know, how you get through that feeling. And so it sounds like to me you guys get through it by saying it's somebody, it's why are they looking at me, or just put the blame on somebody else versus yourself.
I have done that, and like I said, I Vaughn, I know what you're talking about. It sounds too close to home because, but but I know exactly what you mean, because when you come back and you think about things, and somebody they say, "Hey, you should have handled that right," and you go to that person, "Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have did that," and that person is still on one, right? And I'm like, I get triggered. I have gotten triggered before. I'm like,
yeah,
well, okay, then it's on again. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it's like you ain't perfect.
Right.
You
Right,
ain't without sin around this month. You know that.
right.
But see,
Y'all petty.
um, that
Well, I no wait, wait,
sis,
wait, 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 wait. I used to look. Wait, wait. I used to be that way, but
Yeah,
you
now,
that's what
different
I'm
now,
saying. That's what
SBK.
I'm saying. I'm not saying y'all like that now, but I'm just saying that's just
No,
got being.
sis, I'm admitting that
Yeah,
I
that's
still
just yeah.
I'm
That
more than
that's
capable.
yeah. That's being, in my opinion, that's just being petty because when you apologize to somebody, like I said,
Hey,
you
so
start.
blessed.
And when you done something to somebody, the apology is more for yourself than it is for the other person, because
I
it
was
makes
just
you
gonna say
it
that.
takes you off the hook,
I
not
was
the
just
the other person, whether they accept your apology or not. That's on them because you done what you're supposed to do, which is
correct.
apologize. Now, whether they accept it or not, that's on them.
Right.
And so at that point, so
I
now
agree
you're
with
going
that.
tit for tat and you're being petty. Like, I'm
I
taking my
And
apology
see,
back, and now I don't. So did you really mean it though when you apologize? If you could take it back,
I
exactly, sis, and that's why I say I'm because I what I don't want to do. Y'all want to know something else too? It's like actions speak louder than words. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, um, I'm really leaning towards don't apologize. Just actions speak louder than words. You know, get to a place where because sometimes apologies right away aren't necessary. You know what I'm saying? Especially because I was thinking about something and it was like, I'm not gonna apologize and then do it again. So what I would like to do is, just not put myself in the situations where I have to apologize later. And how I think I can do that is just, not react. And it's hard for me not to react when I'm triggered because I'm good with, going off and giving folks a piece of my mind and, saying it with my chest. And it's like, okay, so let me work on that first. Let me, learn how to restrain, myself from reacting. Okay. And once I get there, that way I won't have to constantly apologize because my thing is, I was telling, the Lord, like, I'm tired of apologizing. Okay. Like, I'm really tired of this. And he told me, don't apologize. Just show different, be different. Stop being so quick to anger. And it's not, and it was that's not what he said, y'all. But he said something like this. It was like,
I was getting ready to
stop
say, God
reacting.
told you not to, don't
No,
apologize.
no, no, not no, 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 Miss Alice. That's what I say. He
Okay,
didn't say that. He said in what I'm speaking on in this situation, an
okay,
apology is not necessary. Changed behavior is
okay,
necessary.
okay.
And I will
yeah, because
open
in the
the
Bible it do
door.
say, the Bible do say if you do something to your neighbor, you should go
Right.
back in the pot and make it right. So I'm gonna just throw that
Right.
out there.
No, 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 no. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that's why I say he didn't say it like that. I'm just giving y'all a summary. But in the situation, it's don't an apology is not necessary right now. Um, change behavior, and I will open the door. For there to be repentance. And I not only does that make so much more sense because for me, I was trying to fix something, that had been broken for so long, right? And it was racking my brain on how to fix it, how to fix it, how to fix it. And the answers came to me like a flood. And it was like, okay, I can do that, and he's gonna open the door for there to be, oh, Kevon has, changed, or oh, she isn't the same person, you know, um, because actions speak louder than words. I can say all day, I'm not the same person. I can go on apology tours, I can do this, I can do that. But actions speak louder than words. And there's no sense in apologizing only, to turn around and do it again because what did I just say? I'm quick to anger. Okay. I can apologize. Oh, sis, oh, Miss Alice, I'm so sorry. Oh, SBK, I'm so sorry. Then next time y'all tick me off, I'm all on top of y'all head and in y'all minds, that girl ain't sorry. She ain't changed. She the same person, right? So I guess you can say patience, and self-control is a big part of, me changing, you know. But what did I just tell y'all? Okay, I know that these things need to happen. Okay, I'm just comfortable in. Oh, they'll be all right. You know, I ain't. You know, we all make it to heaven. Okay, well, I ain't gonna say we all, but you know, I can still go to heaven and not have to do these things. But that's not true. So I don't know what it's gonna take, you know, to really get me to change, other than not
A lot of time and a lot of prayer.
being quick to anger.
Just I tell you about time all the time. It's just gonna take some time, and it's gonna take a lot of prayer, and it's gonna take a lot of you asking God to take that away from you. That's what it's gonna take.
But
Oh
the only
well.
thing about that is that we assume that we have time.
Oh, Miss Alice, I'm going on mute.
I'm just being, I just have to keep it real with you, Vaughn. We assume that we have time, but that's not always the case. Time is really not on our side. So I understand from your, Vaughn, I give you a lot of
I don't know
grace
why, but no, let me let me let me.
because because when I was your age, I wasn't there. I thank God for allowing me to be on this earth as long as I have, because I could have, if had he taken me when I was younger, when I was your age, I can't tell you for sure that I would be on my way to heaven,
Right.
because he knew that I needed more. He knew that I needed more time. So prayerfully, time, you do have time, but do don't just do things any kind of way because you think you have time, because tomorrow isn't promised to anyone.
So don't bank on time, Alice.
Don't bank on it.
No, no, I'm not, y'all. I'm so emotional. I don't know why I actually dropped the link, but listen,
Because you needed to come.
it's like I like believe me when I say I know, like without a doubt, it's like I know there isn't much time for really, because time waits on no man, right?
Hmm.
But it ain't no but. It's there's some, like I said, it's comfortable. It's like for me, I like to know. I like to know what's gonna happen. I like to, be prepared. I like to know. You know what I'm saying? And there's no guarantee that if I do right, others are going to do right by me. And I know that sounds real selfish and like, girl, don't worry about that. But it's like when you know you've been kind to people, or you have, extended grace and you weren't giving it back, it does make you hard. It makes you feel like, forget them, or it's not that important. But it's important when you're in different situations and you're constantly lashing out, and you're just being a your own stumbling block, because hey, this is the next level to growth. This is gonna give you some peace. But it's like when people have lied and made you feel some type of way, caused issues in places and things that they don't even know about. It's really hard for you to be open, to a second chance. But like you said, Miss Alice, God has given me plenty of chances, and I know I am not deserving. I just, and it's not that I don't feel other people are deserving of his grace. I feel like they ain't deserving of mine. It's like, forget you. You ain't finna hurt me again.
But none of
I'm
us are,
sensitive.
but none of us are deserving. None of us are deserving. And but that's why Jesus went to the cross, so that we could be forgiven.
Amen.
And at the end of the day, all you can do, first of all, it's written in the books that you're not gonna know everything. It was some scribes that wasn't even open because it's not for us to know everything. You can't know everything. You don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So all you can do is just be the best person that you can be, and you're gonna make mistakes, and just ask God to forgive you. And whatever it is that's gnawing at you, ask him to, just pray to God and ask him to take it away from you, whatever the behavior is. And so that's the reason why we following Christ, and that's the reason why we say we Christians, and that's the reason why we read the word, because he is the answer to everything. He is the answer. And the problem is you just want to fix everything, and you can't fix everything. Everything is not for you to fix. Some things
Amen.
you have to take to God and have him to fix it for you, because like I be telling God sometimes, I can't handle this. You gonna have to do it because I can't do it. Some things is out of your control. Some things you can't handle, and you definitely can't control other people. So that's when you ask God to get those people away from you, or just ask God to help you endure these people if you have to be around them. Whatever the prayer is, you have to take it to the Lord in prayer, and you have to leave it there. You can't pray to God and then try to fix it, whatever the prayer is, and then you go and try to work on it yourself. You have to be patient and let God handle the situation for you. And it's not an easy thing. And we look at faith of a mustard seed as being very small, but I'm gonna tell you something about faith. It's very hard for you to depend on faith, especially in a time of need. And I've been there and done that, where I didn't have anything else but God to lean and depend on. And sometimes he'll put you in that situation where you don't have nobody else but to go to but him. And so and it teaches you how to have faith in God. So you just have to work on your faith, and you have to be patient enough and allow him to take care of whatever the situation is. And that's all you can do, sis.
So basically, mind your business and let God mind his.
I was just going to share
There,
a passage of
there you
scripture.
go.
I was just going to share a passage of scripture with y'all, Vons, and it's crazy that you just made that statement, Miss Alice. You said, "Mind your business," and the scripture says in First Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 11, the first part of that verse, it says, "And that ye study to be quiet and to do your own business." So, with that being said, sometimes lashing out, we'll learn to just walk away. It's we have to learn to, because you know none of us are going to get it right. We learn each and every day how to handle situations. I've learned that I don't want to say anything. If someone offends me, I go back and apologize, and they don't accept my apology, and they keep on and on and on. I have been there. I have gone to extreme measures with them, right? But as you get older, you want peace. You want peace, and you're tired of arguing. You're tired. You just want peace, right? So to keep the peace, I'll hang up on you before I cuss you out, before I talk bad to you. I'll hang up on you. Or I'll do like a few weeks ago, y'all was talking about ignoring people on the phone, talking about Miss Alice ignoring people, ignoring folks at the
Uh-huh.
door, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Don't answer the door in
Yeah,
the
don't
phone.
answer though. Yeah, don't answer the
Don't
phone.
answer the phone. Yeah.
Pretend like somebody at the door, so you ain't
Yeah.
got to
Right,
continue the
Oh, yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
conversation.
Pretend the door. Yeah. All of that.
Exactly. That's all the stuff Miss Alice was we found out Miss Alice was doing. But anyways, but you have to protect your peace if it takes, because a lot of people like to argue. Vaughn, a lot of people are going to try you. You know what I mean? A lot of people, even though you apologize and your heart might be in the right place, people don't have your mindset. And you just have to learn to just walk away and just mind your business. And if you're apologizing or you're trying to make things right, because that's the person that's who you are, right? So if they don't accept it, so what? What I mean? Your heart is in the right place. So it's best that we all, take that and just, study to be quiet and just mind our own business. You know what I mean? we can't work out things for other people if they don't, if they can't work with us. You know what I'm saying? If they don't want to accept our apology, if they can't see that we're coming from a good place, we can't do nothing about that, but just move on.
I totally agree.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
And let
I
God
agree.
handle them. And you can't handle them.
Hmm.
You got to let God handle them.
And God is God. He
And He
will.
will.
You know what I mean? He will. You
Hmm.
reap
Oh
what you
yes, He
sow.
will. Yes,
You
sir.
reap what you sow more than you sow later than you sow. The old preacher said. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't worry about, they're gonna get theirs. You know what I mean? You just keep on doing what you know is right.
Right.
And you can't be celebrating when they do get it.
Absolutely.
Oh, child, you say it again. Say it again, sis, because you.
I'm just saying you can't celebrate when they do get it. And
Don't be
Hmm.
I
about
know
the
some
right.
about that too. I know some about that too. I had to tell my cousin, don't worry about it. God gonna take care of it. But I didn't know He was gonna take care of it in the way that He took care of it, in the speediness that He took care of it. But oh Lord, He did
Right.
take care of it, and so we were shocked. So I was
Yep.
like, you know what? I ain't speaking on nobody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, cause
Absolutely.
God really took care of it permanently, and so I'll give people warning. I'm gonna try to warn people or what have you, but not to that capacity, because I just wanted God to just like break a leg or something like that. I didn't know He was gonna just take the breath away.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you got to be careful what you speak into existence. And so I'm just trying to be careful on what I say and how I do things these days. And
Mm-hmm.
so, and even when something do happen to one of your enemies, you're really not happy. Because, to be in reality and to be honest with you, no matter how bad people treat you, when something happens to that person, especially on a permanent basis, you're not really happy about that. You're really shocked about it.
That's true.
And you really like, oh God, I didn't mean for you to, go that far with it, but you may mean a little bit and He may do more than what you ask Him to do. So just ask God, just,
Mm-hmm.
to help you out, and don't worry about your enemy. Let God take care of your enemy, because sometimes He will take care of your enemy, and He may take care of them a little bit more than you want Him to. And then so that'll be on your mind and your conscience. So, like SBK say, all you just got to mind your own business and pray. And whatever it is that's bothering you, you just ask God to take that away from you or get it away from you and
Mm-hmm.
go on.
Oh, that Scorpio mama acting up.
Scorpio mama gonna be Scorpio mama.
She is acting up.
she, she said she
She said, I
got to
got to
celebrate.
celebrate.
Man, I
Scorpio
had to go
mama.
when
That's you, Scorpio mama. I wasn't celebrating. I ain't gonna be
I
celebrating on
I
nobody's
read
demise.
I
I
read
can
that in
hear
the chat.
Scorpio mama.
I read that in the chat, and I had to go on mute.
I can hear Scorpio mama in the voice of Mr. Brown. It's a celebrate.
Lord. And speaking, well, all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
don't.
is, yeah, I'm not. Look, just we need prayer for our nation,
Yes, ma'am, we do.
our black people, okay,
Yeah.
people of color, right? I need y'all to chill, all right?
Mhm. Well, everybody of any color, everybody needs to
Eh,
chill, in my opinion.
right.
In my opinion,
You
Yeah.
okay?
and
Because yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, you
it ain't
absolutely
just
right.
us.
No, no. Really, we actually doing better. So it's them. But we all need prayer and we all need to calm down. And I'm going to drop down because my voice is getting ready to go out now. I think I've ran it out. So,
Okay.
Alice,
Oh
Well,
thanks for
Lord.
letting me come on. Yeah, I know it's going high now. So, Alice, thanks for letting me come on the panel.
thank you.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
See
And
you
it's
Feel
good
soon.
better.
talking to you, SPK and
All right,
Devon.
been
All
seeing you.
right.
All righty.
I love you, sis. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna go to Miss Alice. Um, Great topic. Okay, because it don't be you. Okay, it be the Lord
Hmm.
over here convicting my little hard head self. But I'm gonna need you to pray some different prayers. Okay. And I've already, talked to our Father and let him know, about how I need my privacy in the spirit.
Uh-huh.
So all right. Now I love you too, SBK. I'll see y'all later.
Love you,
All
sis.
right, love you too, Bob.
I'm gonna I'm gonna drop down to Miss Alice and get me something to eat. But I always feel like whenever I've come on your panel several times, this is like therapy for me because you know whenever you have someone that is of like-minded faith and they've gone through things that you've
Mhm.
gone through, you can always relate to that. And I always, like to be transparent and talk about um, what I've gone through in the past and the hard-headedness that I've had in the past. Maybe that can help someone. Be a testimony to somebody that does have a hard head because I can relate to everything that y'all are saying. And so
Right.
I really appreciate this topic. Like I said, it really helped me because, um, you know, uh, when you're dealing with people on an everyday basis, uh, you're gonna approach these types of situations. And so
Right.
it's very great. It's great to know that you have people that talk about real topics like this and makes you think. It makes you um, it's an encouragement. You know what I mean? So keep up the great work, and this is a great show. And I'm going to drop down, Queen. Thank you so much for having me up.
Thank you so much for joining, and I appreciate all of your feedback as well and your transparency.
Yes, ma'am. You have a good evening here.
You too. Stay blessed.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, y'all. So thanks again to everybody who joined the panel. This has been a great live for me. Um, I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I appreciate everyone who stopped by, those who are in the bushes, especially the ones who came to the chat to let us know they were in the bushes. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Scorpio Mama. You gotta love Scorpio Mama. So those who are will be watching the replay, I appreciate your support as well. And don't forget, y'all, we will be having a giveaway um, soon, coming up soon. So if you don't already know the content, I advise you to go and watch some of the replays because I could ask any questions. And like I said, I'm going to do something different this time. I'm not saying it yet, what yet, but um, just make sure that you're ready. So I'm going to go down the list to see who was here. First person in the chat was Who That. Thanks, Who That, for stopping by. Appreciate you. And of course, we have Scorpio Mama. Too Strong. She said she was going to be in the bushes, but she was here. We have Wanda, the Get It Together Wellness Lady. We have Sirius S. Thanks, Sirius S, for joining. Blaze, thank you. Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walk of Shame, thank you for stopping by. Selena, thank you. Mimi, thank you. Key, thank you. Chill Will Crew, thank you. Shadow wanted some fruit snacks. Unfortunately, we didn't have any today. SBK, thank you for not just being in the chat, but on the panel. And So Blessed, thank you for stopping by as well. And the moderators, Abril, Charlie's Angel, Real, I said what I said, Senna, Blue, Janice, and Vaughn. And those who joined the panel, Vaughn, SBK, I said what I said. Thank you all. I appreciate your input. And thank you, Vaughn, for always always being willing to listen to some sound advice. I know that sometimes you may um, be hard headed, but those of us who were where you are and once in our lifetime, I know for me, I definitely get it. And I pray that God continues to work on you, with you, and through you. Um, Again, y'all, we will be having a giveaway real soon. So make sure that you are doing whatever necessary if you want to participate so that you can come out on top. Remember that God loves you even more than I do. And I really do love you all. Thanks again, Joe. I truly appreciate your support. So continue to be blessed, everybody. But more importantly, continue to be a blessing to someone else. And after this, we will be ending the live. Thanks again to those who may be watching the replay. I truly appreciate your support. And feel free to go back and leave a comment after the live. It really helps with the algorithm. And we do know that there are a lot of hard headed people in this world and on this app. And so this may bless someone else. So feel free to share it out and leave a comment so that we can get the algorithm going. So with that said, we will, after this music, we will be ending the live again. Stay blessed, y'all.